they want to vote. I'm working my ass off here. I'm soaking wet already. Suppression balls. You can't hold them. I'm soaking wet already. Suppression balls. Now, yesterday we had 3 big ones, really big. Suppression balls. Hey, don't give me the umbrella. I'm soaking wet already. But they put numbers. You know, they're called suppression. Suppression balls. They make you, like, feel badly. So you say to your wife or you say to your husband, darling, let's go out to dinner and then we'll come back. We love our president. But, you know, the polls say he can't win. Well, right now we're leading in almost everywhere. We're leading. Well, I'm soaking wet already. Suppression balls. Red wave. I'm soaking wet already. Suppression balls. Suppression balls. Biden even shows as his running mate the most liberal senator in America. Kamala. Senator Kamala Harris. Democrat. Kamala.
If you have a pre-existing condition, heart disease, diabetes, breast cancer, they're coming for you. If you love someone who has a pre-existing condition, they're coming for you. If you are under the age of...
Senator Kamala Harris.
I want to just, first of all, say I'm so excited to be here. Thank you. There is so much about what comes out of Donald Trump's mouth.
Don't be rude.
That is designed to distract the American people from what he is doing every day. That is about neglect, negligence, and harm.
You are fake news. Bing, bing, bing. Don't be rude. Don't be rude.
In the name of Jesus from South America, they're coming here. They're coming here. They're coming here. They're coming here from Africa. Pika hata anda ato. I hear the sound of victory. Pika hata anda ato. I hear the sound of victory. I hear the sound of victory. I hear the sound of
winning, winning, winning.
Pika hata anda ato.
Winning, winning, winning.
Pika hata anda ato. Oh, the batarata ande eke eke ma.
Biden even shows.
Should I play this? This is one of the most vile callers we have. Take a listen to this. I have not pre-screened this, so let me just warn you. This may not be suitable.
All right, things started very quickly, and Joe Biden is already sitting and about to get his vaccine. So let's go there first, because we don't want to miss that key moment. A lot of crazy things going on. I'm going to talk about the problem the Biden camp is having with scheduling in a moment. But here is Joseph R. Biden Jr. about to get himself a coronavirus vaccine, dose number 1. We're going to look in a moment at how many people have gotten the vaccine so far, how many vaccines have been sent out. I may take some phone calls from it. The scheduling is insane what's going on. For a week, they say sometime today Biden's getting the vaccine. And 20 minutes ago, they say Biden's en route right now. After all day saying we don't know when, we don't know where. So in any case, here is Joe Biden.
I'm ready.
Ready to go. Okay, let's listen.
Tired? All right.
Oh, his arm's hairier than I would have expected. That's interesting.
No, you just go ahead anytime you're ready.
And here it is, my friends.
Mr. Biden, do you expect that teachers will have early access to the vaccine? And if so, do you think that moves the timetable to get students back to class?
It doesn't matter. You think I need one? I'll put it on.
Biden saying, I don't care if you give me a Band-Aid.
Okay. So look, what I want to say is we owe these folks an awful lot. The scientists and the people who put this together, the frontline workers, the people who were the ones who actually did the clinical work. Just amazing. And I wish we had time to take you through the whole hospital to see how busy and incredible you all are. And we owe you big. We really do. And one of the things is that I think that the administration deserves some credit getting this off the ground with Operation Warp Speed. I also think that it's worth saying that there's great hope. I'm doing this to demonstrate that people should be prepared when it's available to take the vaccine.
Right.
There's nothing to worry about. I'm looking forward to the second shot. So is Jill. She's had her shot earlier today. She loves shots, I know. But I've had so many.
Look at Biden relating normally to people.
That's for me. My next visit. And but the important thing is that it's worth stating that this is just the beginning. It's one thing to get the vaccine out, and now Moderna is going to be on the road as well. But it's going to take time. It's going to take time. In the meantime, I know I don't want to sound like a sour note here, but I hope people listen to all the experts from the Dr. Fauci's on, talking about the need to wear masks during this Christmas and New Year's holidays, wear masks, socially distance, and if you don't have to travel, don't travel.
Right.
Don't travel. It's really important because we're still in the thick of this. It's one thing to have the vaccine show up at a hospital. There's another thing to get the vaccine from that vial into a needle, into an arm. And there's millions of people out there that are going to need this, frontline workers first. But I just want to thank everyone for all that they've done. There's some real heroes, and you're among them. Thank you.
Joe Biden getting his "I've been vaccinated" sticker and a fist bump with the nurse, and Joe Biden continuing to relate to people in a normal way, which is something we don't often see. Well, we're going to get to that later. Let's see what else is going. I don't even know what other streams we have. This stream is still live, but frozen, and we're going to get to a bunch of other things here momentarily.
Come on, guys. Let's go.
Wow. Very powerful moment. As you can see, the camera person so overcome with emotion from vaccination starting that they're filming the floor, as you can see. Okay, we have another stream over here from CBS, and it looks like that event is over. Now, I don't know how many of you guys know this, but there's also an event, Turning Point USA Live, and we're expecting Dave Rubin and Senator Ted Cruz and others. Right now, we have Eric Bolling, who is there. I see so many questions coming in about, am I going to be talking about the coronavirus stimulus? Yes, already recorded a segment. Segment goes live later today from the podcast and on YouTube. Am I going to be talking about left infighting between AOC and Jimmy Dore and others? Yes, segment, now that I know about it, segment on that on today's podcast. Am I going to be talking about Donald Trump considering martial law and the seizure of voting machines? Yes, segment about that as well. We have segments on all of these elements already planned. But before we get to any of that, I have so many things to go over and to play for you. David Haldane has sent a beautiful super chat and says, wait, the vaccine doesn't come with a Windows boot up noise. It is surprising. It is surprising, but it does not, interestingly enough. I do want to say a big thank you to Michael Carlisle, who just signed up at joinpacman.com and is new member number 1. And also want to say thanks to the 3 people who have signed up via Twitch as well. Okay, so very exciting. Let's take a quick listen to Toilet Paper USA and a question being asked.
All right, so I have a lot of friends who I would consider moderate, and I understand that they could become great, conservatives, and most of them, they are like, they're pro 2A, So what should I show them so they can fully commit to
God.
conservatism and see what we really are and what we truly believe?
I think the best way to deal with the question is what can you show a moderate to bring them over to the right? Show them why it's important, why the Second Amendment is important. Just have them listen to anything that comes out of the squad's mouth, Ilhan Omar, AOC's mouth, Ayanna Pressley, and Rashida Tlaib. Everything they say is communist. I mean,
So basically, he has nothing to offer that would be convincing. So he's saying, listen to other people and hope that they're turned off by the other side. So that's really, really weird stuff. But we're gonna keep an eye on that. And should any arbiters of ideas speak, we will certainly take a look. Okay, in terms of vaccine numbers, what's going on so far? Okay, 556,000 shots have been administered nationally so far. And you can look at numbers by state here. There have been about 3 million doses allotted so far and about 500,000 administered as of yesterday. Okay, so these numbers are going to continue to update, and we are going to keep those very, very much viewable and present. We also have numbers that are looking pretty bad, which is that a lot of people continue to die of coronavirus. Now, we did have a weekend. Anytime there's a weekend, you start to see a bit of a downturn. Now, I've said this before, my expectation is that the peak, what should be the final spike, should be around mid-January. At that point, you will have the effect of the upcoming Christmas and end-of-year gatherings, which will be disastrous, and you will start rounding that peak, and we will have increased vaccination. So my expectation is that we are going to see another little spike up until about January 8, 9, 10, and that'll start to decline. And then deaths, which trail cases by 3 weeks, will probably max out at the end of January. And then again, assuming nothing goes wrong with vaccination distribution or any of these things, we will start to see what will hopefully be a permanent decline at that point in time. That's what we're looking at right now. And of course, many variables and all of that remains to be seen. Bay Photo says via Super Chat, do we know if Biden got the Pfizer or Moderna vaccine? I don't know. And I don't believe that it's been said. If anybody has any other information about that, certainly let me know. So we're keeping an eye on that. Also, I wanted to take a look with you here. There is this clip that our friend Aaron Rupar said is one of the dumbest things he's ever seen on Fox News. That's interesting to me. So let's take a listen to it together.
Really, what are the rules to the Speaker of the House? And do any of them include things that cost, I don't know, a whole lot less than that freezer full of ice cream? And I don't mean to be so petty about it, but
What?
imagine if you could liquidate that in dollars and add that to the weekly stimulus check.
So you take $150 worth of Nancy Pelosi's ice cream, $150 divided by, what is it, about 200 million Americans who will qualify for $600. What's $150 divided into 200 million Americans? Does anybody know? Is that a fraction of a penny? That is pretty damn stupid. That is very, very stupid. Yeah. I think Aaron is completely right. What am I drinking? Yeah, I've been in the afternoons. I've been making a dirty chai lately. This is a great drink. It's chai tea. You brew chai tea normally, and then you add a shot of espresso to it. It could be decaf espresso. It could be calf. It could be half calf. It could be 2/3 calf. I can dial it in however I want. And then a little bit of cow's milk. And then it's a hell of a drink. It is an absolutely fantastic, fantastic drink. Dirty chai is what the kids call it this day. Very good. Really easy. That's all it is. You just need a grinder, an espresso machine, a water boiler, tea, coffee beans, milk. It only requires like 7 to 10 different things. Okay. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, Badger wants to know if I'm aware of the new COVID strain in the UK. I am aware of it. Yeah. So it's important that when we talk about the new COVID strain, we distinguish between the things we know and the things we don't know. We know that the COVID strain that is taking over in the UK spreads much more easily. It's believed to have an R naught of about zero 0.4 higher than the previous strains. What we don't have any evidence for is that it's deadlier. Or we don't even know whether it may be less deadly. We just don't know. Often with viruses, as they become more transmissible, they become less deadly. That's something you can look at historically. And we don't know. All we know is it's more transmissible. So we don't, and there's no reason at this point to believe that it is more deadly. No reason to believe that the vaccine will be affected in any way by it. So that's what we know at the time, currently. Okay. All right. Other things going on. Oh, I do have voicemail. Oh, actually, let's see. So first of all, I have a few Space Force. What do you guys want to do first? Do you want Creationist Cat video about the David Pakman show? Do you want Space Farce related memes and songs? Do you want Troy York voicemails, or do you want repeater voicemails? I'm not doing a poll or anything. I'm just asking, and you can tell me what you prefer. A lot of Creationist Cat. People want repeater. Paula White. Spit cat sounds and dream. Okay, people are liking cat. Okay, let's get to that. Producer Pat sent this to me. Now, I was on this show called The Creationist Cat Show a while ago. I think it's been years. I don't actually remember seeing this intro, but based on the way in which my character has been assailed lately, this actually is pretty damn funny. So let's take a look at it together. This is pretty good.
His name is David Pakman, political commentator, left-wing propagandist, master of fake news, and heir to the Pakman family fortune. He gets money from George Soros to promote communism, Antifa, and probably baby punching too. And he's here today to spread more of his anti-American freedom-hating soy boy lies. David Pakman. All right. Kick it, JC.
Wow, this is aggressive.
Yo, it's Dave Pakman Show. If you like fake news, he's your bro. Satanism, communism, and current events too. From his Argentinian soy boy Jew. Hating Donald Trump's about all he do. So get ready, Pakman Show.
Oh my God.
Boozily, boo. Yeah. Buy Crash's cat t-shirt.
That is so amazingly good and accurate that I don't know how we would be able to continue without that as our theme song. And our attorney will get in touch to negotiate terms with you. I mean, that's just amazing. Yep. So there it is. I don't remember seeing that before. Like maybe I saw that when that show aired years ago. Maybe not. I don't remember. Okay. We have a panel now happening at the Turning Point USA event. It's a panel. I think it's a panel of conservative women. Let's take a brief listen.
Campuses to the world and to the media. I absolutely love it. Today, we are going to be talking to three women who are really smashing.
I don't recognize any of these people.
That women have to be leftists, that they have to be pro-abortion, that they have to hate guns, that they have to hate freedom of speech. And instead, they're paving a new path for conservative voices in Congress. It is such an honor to be sitting here with these incredible women.
These are members of Congress?
Give all of you guys a chance to introduce yourself. Patriots, hello. It is so great to be here with you guys. This has been an extraordinary weekend, and your energy is incredible. Do not lose this passion. I can tell you, you can have all the policy experience in the world, but without passion, without a desire to want to keep America the greatest, most exceptional country in this world.
Oh my God.
You won't get it done.
Did she say her name?
Now, I'm not a politician.
Well, who are you?
Fed up with politicians. I'm a mom. I have 4 boys. I am raising my 4 boys to be men. I'm raising my 4 boys to love America.
This is vomitous. Okay, so we're going to turn that down for now. We're continuing to monitor this event. Everybody just stay as calm as possible. We'll keep monitoring it. There's a lot of screaming going on. And I know that there's this idea. I know somebody will write to me and say, David, you're only saying they're screaming because they're women. That's misogynistic. No, I identified screaming by men at a number of different right-wing events. So it's not a gender-based thing. There's a lot of screaming at a lot of these right-wing events. It's very weird. Douglas Blackwell wants to know, would the military have to follow Trump in attempting a coup? Yeah, I don't know how Trump does it without the military involved to some degree. That's a fair point. I want some heavy metal guitar, drums, bass in the songs, please. Love your show, David. Thanks, Dustin. I appreciate that. Okay, now we've gotten we've gotten some elements out of the way. Do you want next? Actually, you know what? Let's do space farce next. Okay. I don't know how many of you saw this with us the other day, but there was a giga cringe moment when Mike Pence announced that we will now have soldiers, Marines, airmen, sailors, and guardians. Okay? Some of you will remember this from last week.
As I mentioned, we just returned from the Oval Office, and so it is my honor, on behalf of the President of the United States, to announce that henceforth, the men and women of the United States Space Force will be known as guardians.
Oh, no. No, it can't be. The Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh, my God. Kill me. It can't be. It can't be. Anyway, so that was really bad. And I got a bunch of different things from people. I got this Space Force meme, which is me and Trump. I guess this is me as Leonard Nimoy and Trump as Captain Kirk, right? Bill Shatner. Is that accurate here? Trump's stupid space farce. I like this. This is nicely done. So that's pretty good. But then I also received from our friend Jethro Bradley a new track called The Space Farce Guardians, which I'm going to debut for you right now. Okay, let's take a listen to it.
Fourth, the men and women of the United States Space Force will be known as guardians.
Oh, no. No, it can't be. The Guardians of the Galaxy.
From our president, a man who is actually in space right now.
Space farce. Space farce. Space farce.
Guardians.
Space farce.
Guardians. Operating in a vacuum.
Right.
Space farce.
Guardians.
Space farce.
Guardians. Operating in a vacuum. Space is a warfighting domain. When it comes to the outer reaches of space, you are that strength. If you rise on the wings of the dawn, if you settle on the far side of the sea, even if you go up to the heavens,
It's even cringe like this.
that there his hand will guide you, and his right hand will hold you fast to defend America and defend our freedom from space.
Space farce.
Guardians. God bless our guardians.
Space farce.
Guardians. Operating in a vacuum.
Space farce.
Guardians. God bless our guardians.
Space farce.
Guardians. Operating in a
Okay.
vacuum.
So I think you guys get the idea. So that is that. That's a new track, and that's exciting stuff. So let's see. We did vaccine tracker. We did the cringe. We did the Fox News clip. All right. I always have things planned, so I'm just going through here and making sure we're hitting everything. Let me do a couple of super chats. Actually, let me do a couple thank yous. Then I'll do super chats. Then we'll get to voicemails because we do have some pretty aggressive stuff. Zach Mayfield is new member number 5 today, and Patrick McDonough is new member number 6 at joinpacman.com. We also just had an additional 7 folks grab Twitch subs, which puts us at 13. Okay, I have a plethora of voicemails from Repeater. And I also have 3 voicemails from Troy York. Do we want Repeater or do we want Troy York first? This will just be very informal. I'll go by what I see happening in chat. But I'm going to get to some super chats momentarily here. It looks pretty split between Repeater and Troy. If I mentioned that 2 of the voicemails are Troy playing characters, would that change the calculus at all? Oh, Repeater is blowing it out of the water. Repeater. Okay. All right. So we'll go to Repeater first. Very good. Okay. A couple of other super chats. Jared says, David, having a live stream at the same time as the Daily Show goes live should be as illegal as your membership discount codes. Aloha. I agree with that. Sunil Motwani says, Barr says there's no need for Hunter special counsel. Is that stupid investigation out of oxygen or still something to worry about? I wouldn't be shocked to see Republicans demand Hunter Biden hearings. Remember when Benghazi happened and 4 people tragically died, but Hillary Clinton did nothing criminal, obviously, and they had 11 hearings. Thanks to Trump's incompetence, we've now had more than 300,000 people die of the virus. Of course, many people would have died regardless of Trump's response, but many who didn't have to die died. And we've had 0 investigative hearings so far that look at the criminal mishandling of the virus by Donald Trump. It's incredible. Okay, CB says, any updates on the cyber situation? I heard Trump put Barron on the case and that blamed it all on China. No, I mean, it is incredible what Barron's doing with computers these days. But apparently Trump is not putting Barron on that. All right, let's get into the voicemails. We introduced a new voicemail caller 2 weeks ago known as Repeater because he calls in and just repeats. We even have a song about Repeater. Take a look.
I have no name for this caller. We could workshop a name together. Okay, here we go. So this started almost at the stroke of midnight last night. All right, let's take a listen to the first one. This is a new caller. We've never had this one before. New caller alert.
Is this David Pac-Man? I just want to inform you that... Is this David Pac-Man? I just want to inform you that you are an idiot. Once again, I'm going to say it again. We now have evidence that one of the voting machines in one of the counties in Georgia...
Okay, anyway, so at this point, at last stream that I had where we were together, I had received 21 voicemails from this gentleman. Over the last 24 hours, I received 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 more. Now, obviously, I'm not going to spend the next hour just playing these for you. That would be really a problem. But let's just listen to a couple. He had a new topic, but 14 more voicemails. Okay, let's take a listen. This is Repeater.
You know, you are truly, David, the gossip show. Now you're talking about this virus. Let me explain something.
So now he's on the virus. The virus.
To you, because you really are one of the dumbest human beings I've ever seen. When it comes to mask, a cloth mask will not stop a virus. It won't. And when you take the number of people that have passed away from the virus with the total number of people who actually get it, you have a 99. Listen to this. I don't think you'll get it because you're not smart enough.
Okay, so that's voice. I'm going to just do an overview because there's so many of these. This one was 1:08 in the morning.
David, the gossip show. I'm calling about, you're talking about this virus. Listen to me very carefully. You're not going to understand this because you're just not that smart.
So he repeats the same thing. Next call is 2:17 a.m. Here we go.
David, the gossip show. Listen to me very carefully. This is about the COVID.
Okay.
99% of the people who get it survive it.
Okay.
That means you only have 1% of people that get it that don't survive it.
Okay. Are you guys able to remember the number? Is it 98? Because he keeps calling and reminding me, but I keep forgetting. Is it 98% that survive? Is that the number? I just keep forgetting so quickly. Let's go to his next voicemail from 2:59 a.m.
I'm going to repeat myself again, David, the Gossip Show. And like I said, David, you act like a little girl. You belong in a dress and then with some lipstick on and high heels. The coronavirus, okay? It's actually from China. It's actually the China virus. That's where it came from. Anyways, 99% of the people who get the coronavirus survives it.
All right. Voicemail number 5, 6, I don't know.
This is for David, the Gossip Show, about the coronavirus. 99% of the people who get the virus survives the virus.
Okay, he did 3 minutes on that, and then call number 7, 8, I don't know.
I'll say it one more time, David, about the coronavirus. 99% of the people who get the coronavirus, they survive the coronavirus. That means just a little over 1% of the people who get it don't survive the virus.
I'm really struggling with that math. Okay, next call.
David, the Gossip Show. This is real simple.
Yeah.
We have forensic proof that these Dominion machines
Okay, so now he's moving on to something else.
do certain things to flip votes, to weigh votes, and they're designed to...
They're weighing them.
We have the forensic evidence now. We already...
All right, so by voicemail 10, he's on Dominion.
These Dominion machines, we have forensic evidence.
Okay, and he goes on. Now, what's interesting is after a couple of more, he took, how long of a break was this? He took a 2.5-hour break between calls. Now, I wonder what happened during those 2.5 hours. Let's see what happened after the break.
Hey, David, some girl that I grew up with, one of my best friends of all times, I've known this girl over 30 years. She said that she has a couple pairs of high heel shoes.
Okay.
And a few dresses that would fit you that I can send to you for Christmas.
So first of all, I'm Jewish, so I don't accept Christmas gifts. I only accept Hanukkah gifts. But, it's like if I needed high heels, I could borrow my girlfriend's high heels. It's weird. Why would you think I need this guy to send me high heels? Here's one more.
Oh, I just wanted to repeat something that I said.
The idea that he has to let me know he'll be repeating content is pretty full on.
In the last message that I sent you, a wonderful girl that I grew up with, a sweetheart that I've known over 30 years, she said, she told me that she has a couple of pairs of high heel shoes and a couple of dresses that she would love to give to you for Christmas.
It's weird because as if I didn't get that in the previous voicemail. And then here's the absolute last one of the night. This one coming 4 hours after the first call.
Oh, David, I forgot to tell you, this wonderful girl that I've known for over 30 years, she said that she will send you some high heels and a few dresses that would probably fit you. And
okay, well, that is different. None of my girlfriend's stuff would fit me. If this friend of his wears the same size shoe as me and same size dress, I guess that would be something.
Said she will send you some lipstick as well.
Okay.
To match the dresses.
I mean, maybe I just accept it. What do you think, guys? If she's insisting on sending me this stuff, maybe I just go for it. Okay, big thank you to Muad Alamari, who's new member number 14 today, and Stephen Cole, who's member number 15. I do appreciate that. Also, big thank you to Moon Metal and Juiceman, Anonymous Gifter, Zin Dragon, Funky Pug, Stephen Rowe, Lurkley, Jerry Mandering, and a lot of other great people who have supported via Twitch. I appreciate that. Okay, so that is Repeater calling in. We are continuing to monitor Turning Point USA. This is a really strong panel. I guess these women are incoming members of Congress. I don't know who any of these people are, but let's take a listen.
My team, my staff, my interns, people that I have worked with over the years, they have said, I have been intimidated on campus. I have done things that I feel go against my beliefs to get a grade. Don't back down. And if you have a professor that is intimidating you, I will pledge to you right now, I will come to your class, I will happily speak, and I will debate any college professor that asks for it.
That's really weird. Like any college professor. See, this is one of the problems that exists with these right-wing lunatics, which is that so it's the same. Let me see if I can string this together. I haven't really thought about how to kind of frame this. You know, one of the laughable things that happened in the last couple weeks is that people with no college degree started evaluating the merits of Dr. Jill Biden's doctorate dissertation. And people who have never been to college, or people with a bachelor's degree in something completely unrelated to education, random bloggers, everybody's evaluating the merits of Dr. Jill Biden's doctorate thesis, right? And that's the same sort of, delusion that exists when someone like this says, I'll debate any professor. Well, what do you mean debate any professor? You'll debate like an astronomy professor about what? You'll debate a chemical engineering professor about their, like, what is it? And I know that I'm what she's implying is, I guess she'll debate professors about politics or something, but it's this arrogance and perspective that has become viral. It's a mind virus on the right about, listen, you just learn opinions in college. People with opinions, professors, give the students opinions, and everything is just subject to opinion. And yet science is liberal rather than an empirical process and all. It's really, really, and there is a Dunning-Kruger aspect. I like that people in the chat are pointing out that there's a Dunning-Kruger aspect where they so misunderstand the difference between an opinion about abortion and empiricism and the scientific method that they don't even recognize that they lack the capacity to even understand what sorts of things are being done in college. And they think it's all just liberal nonsense. I can show up and debate anybody. It's pretty pathetic. And it is people who have no right to be arrogant about anything, as Betty Veronica is pointing out in Twitch chat. Okay, let's do a couple other super chats, and then I'm going to get to the Troy York voicemails. I did promise to get that. Lannis says, is that a solid gold dancer hosting this event? I don't know what that is. Is that a strip club or something? Solid Gold? I know that there used to be a gold club in Palmer, Massachusetts, closed very, very strongly. But in any case, I don't really know what that is. Let's listen to a little bit more of this, and then we'll get to the Troy York voicemails.
Afraid to fail. I'm not afraid for someone to tell me no. I'm afraid to not have those opportunities. And if this turns into a socialist nation,
oh my God,
that's where we'll be. We won't have those opportunities.
How would it turn into a socialist nation when there's no socialists in power? Would be tough.
Hanging out in the hallways with you and hearing your stories of why you're here and why you're motivated. You know, I was raised in a Democrat home. My mom believed the lies of the Democrat Party. They sounded real good to her. It sounded really good to say, vote for me and we'll feed your children. If you don't vote for me, the other guy wins and you live under a bridge. So I know what it's like to trust in and wait for those government handouts. And that's a cycle of poverty that they want you stuck in. There's no incentive to get out of that. I stood in line at 11 years old for bread and cheese. That's not the American dream.
What line? What is she talking about?
And that's what I'm here to fight to make sure.
I mean, I stood in line for cheese today. I was just waiting at the checkout line. It's sort of absent context. It's kind of a meaningless comment.
A poor Democrat dependent on government. But I took a stand. I put my hand to something. I started working.
I've never seen such a strong attack on grocery lines. I mean, listen, if you want to up the number of cashiers, I'm all for that. Last thing I want to do is wait in line.
The American dream that I can do that. So all of this starts with standing your ground. You have the same rights that everyone else on the left has. Use them.
Who's saying they don't? It's non sequitur after straw man after red herring.
I want to add something to that. If you are going to resolve to stand up and speak up, you also need to get in your mind that you may suffer. You might suffer loss.
Now, I have to tell you, the right is smart to do this because so like, what do we have on the left? They are taking college age people and indoctrinating them into non-thinking mind virus lunacy. But it's well funded. They bring on, blonde female young hosts before they had another one and another one and another one. They actually are getting a lot of mileage out of putting money into this stuff. On the left, we've got we've got Netroots Nation, which I've been to many times, and like it's okay, but it's not well produced like this. There's Left Forum, which, you know, I love a lot. I have a lot of friends that participate at Left Forum. I've done some panels there, but it is a shit show. I mean, Left Forum, the organization, it's insane, the stuff that goes on at Left Forum. So they are really, I mean, this is sort of like the perfect combination of politics as sport with celebrity culture and, you know, just like finding attractive women to give messages. And the left is just not good at this stuff. And to the extent that this works right now, the left is failing at this type of thing. There's no question about it. I think we need to recognize that. If we don't at least acknowledge that to some degree, I think, you know, we don't have to acknowledge it and then do it, but at least we need to acknowledge it and say, how do we fight this stuff? Because this stuff is really effective in a lot of ways. And part of it is appealing to shallowness, for sure. Shallowness of argument and shallowness of personality and shallowness of culture. Yes, absolutely. But the point is, does it work? Does it work? And I believe that to a great degree, it does.
I mean, like Lauren, I grew up in a Democrat family. I think there's been this narrative out there, and it's not even political. It's this notion that things have always been done this way, so we're going to keep doing them that way, right? But that's the definition of insanity. And I saw it firsthand in 2016 when I was out campaigning for President Trump. I got called a traitor more times than I can count. And I know I'm a blonde, so I probably can't count that high, but, you know.
Oh, this is so stupid. Okay, a couple of other super chats. Matt Chavez says, 80,000 more deaths, the U.S. will surpass World War II deaths. It will almost certainly happen, I imagine. A big thank you to Ranyan1, who has now been an 8-month subscriber on Twitch, who says, of all the gossip shows I watch, yours is the greatest, according to many people. Have a happy Hanukkah. Thank you. Hanukkah is over, but I'm still taking a posthumous Hanukkah congratulations. I appreciate that. Okay. Am I opening phone lines? I don't know. I mean, we have a goal of 100 to open phone lines. We kind of got caught off guard with this stream and we weren't able to properly build it up. So let's just say, let's do this. Let's make the goal 50. Okay, I've just halved the goal, which puts us twice as close. If we get to 50 website members and Twitch subs, I will open up the phone lines. And of course, the coupon code is Fresh Start for 70% off at joinpacman.com. Let's get to the Troy York voicemails. Okay, I have 3 Troy York voicemails. Troy York is a guy who calls in. He's from the Midwest. He accidentally doxed himself a few weeks ago, so we know who he is now. So he called in with, first he called in with his black character, who is Jamal Jenkins. That's his black character. Then he called in as Troy York. And then he called in with a new character who I guess is British, and his name is Whitaker Marshall III. Let's go in chronological order. Here is Troy York calling in as Jamal Jenkins, first and foremost.
David Pacman, this is Professor Jamal Jenkins from University Park, Governor State University in Illinois. And I'm just listening to your program. You talk about the COVID numbers and how a disaster it is. And about how we have so much cases and you won't shut up about COVID.
So many cases.
Like you basically don't realize that the health industrial complex and the socialists within it and the globalists like yourself have...
The globalist is code for Jew. By the way, the health industrial complex is not doing well with this. If you look at second quarter GDP, the biggest drag on GDP in the second quarter was healthcare. It's healthcare that is most affected. I have friends who are doctors and nurses who have gotten a 15% pay cut and are working 15% fewer hours. The profit in medicine, I'm against this being the paradigm, but the profit is in things like necessary but optional, but not emergency. Necessary but non-emergency things like hip replacements, as an example. You could do it now, you could do it later. Back surgeries. Those are the things that have been for a while shut down and then now very spaced out in much of the country. So the idea that the health industrial complex likes this is really dumb. As far as socialists and globalists, those are dog whistles, including anti-Semitic ones.
Serious plans for our country, our culture, and our economy. And this COVID media over-reporting, overstating false numbers, keep hyping it up.
So the evidence is the numbers are understated, not overstated.
Is basically a conspiracy to demoralize this country, try to push it towards a path of socialism and big government.
What's funny about these socialism conspiracy theories is, like, at some point, don't you need some socialists in power? If this is all a big game and by the way, is the virus from China or is it the American health industrial complex that is doing the virus? He always also calls and says it's China. At some point, if this is all a cover to install socialism, then you need some socialists in power, and we have none in the United States.
You are a fraud. You never debate anyone. I challenge you to have an Anthony Brian Logan.
Again, this guy always tells me to debate people who I have never heard of. Anthony Brian Logan, I don't know who that is. I know Brian Tyler Cohen.
Or Officer Tatum.
Officer Tatum. Officer Tatum. My God.
Or Tyrone Magnus, or Mark Dice, or...
Mark Dice I know, because he once attacked me publicly.
There's so many right-wing conservatives on YouTube who make great points and point out the hypocrisy of the people like you and the left. And you...
I would debate Andrew Dice Clay. That would be interesting. Okay, so that was voicemail number 1 as Jamal Jenkins, but about 20% of the way in, Troy York forgot he was supposed to be Jamal Jenkins. Then Troy York calls in again.
Yes, David, I just want to call and say that 99% of people accusing Donald Trump of being a narcissist are narcissists themselves, hypocrites. People like yourself, you run a podcast. Why don't you quit?
Wait a second. I'm a narcissist and a hypocrite because I haven't quit my podcast? What?
With COVID and take some money and stay out.
The money thing again. Guys, listen, I haven't gotten a penny in stimulus money. I've gotten nothing personally. I took no PPP, no PP or PPP or PPE. I've taken none of it. And I took no EIDL. I mean, and with the second stimulus, I'm getting nothing. I had people emailing me saying, David, you're calling for a bigger stimulus because you want more money. I'm not getting any money from it. It's not from me. I know this might be a hard thing for some people to understand, but I'm thinking of other people. I'm not getting any money. I'm not getting any money from any of this stuff.
So the media wing, why don't you pay more taxes?
Okay, again, me sending in more taxes is not, it's not a. First of all, you can't. In certain states, you can pay, like in Massachusetts says, the tax rate is 5.1. If you want, you can pay, I think it's 5.5. Me paying more would not be policy. And federally, I'm pretty sure if you send in more taxes, they send it back. It's called a tax refund if you overpay. It's not policy anyway.
You are one of the biggest narcissists there is. And all these people in the mainstream media who call Donald Trump a narcissist.
All right, so this one's pretty boring. And then lastly, here's Troy York debuting a new character. I guess this is supposed to be a British accent. It's weird. And the character is Whitaker Marshall III.
Hello, David. This is Whitaker Marshall III. Just calling to ask one question. I just see Boris Johnson locking down Great Britain and his demands to...
I don't know why someone would call me to ask about Boris Johnson, who's the leader in another country from a party that is not aligned with my politics. Like, I have no idea. Who am I to defend or say anything about what Boris Johnson's doing?
And Christmas and along with government. And
it's funny how Troy York within 15 seconds forgets the character he's playing. And now he's back to his American accent.
The double Siamese twin of the mainstream corporate media. what is it? What is a hatred and obsession with trying to cancel Christmas? And I was wondering, you as a liberal, if you could explain what this hatred of Christmas is all.
Listen, I'm Jewish. I don't care about Christmas. What I do know is it seems to be happening. Every time I go into CVS and there's Christmas music playing. The trash collectors now are wearing Santa hats. They were never wearing yarmulkes during Hanukkah. They're wearing Santa hats. Okay. It's very weird.
About. And I'm just wondering, is that something to do with the media being run by Jews?
There it is. There it is. So we're going to close out. That actually seems to be right. I must be against Christmas because I'm Jewish. That would be it. Okay. Big thank you to Andrew Schumann, who is new member number 16 today at joinpacman.com. And also a big thank you to the 14 additional Twitch Prime subscribers. Because today's stream was kind of haphazardly put together, we reduced our goal from 100 to 50. So I will open phone lines if we get to 50 website members and Twitch subscribers. Now, I want to warn people, it's possible that on January 20th, our membership discounts will no longer be allowed. Okay? So this is a perfect time to take advantage of the coupon code Fresh Start at joinpacman.com. Let's see what's going on here. It seems like things are getting crazy.
Yes. So I really appreciate that. I'm going to put that on speaker and on repeat for.
All right, everybody. These three ladies are just getting started with their journey in representing the conservative movement. We're so grateful for the leadership that they've already expressed. And let's give them a big cheer as they head on to Washington. Awesome.
Dear God. What an event. Okay, now I guess they moved the chairs around. Pretty big time super spreader event happening there for sure. Okay, other super chats coming in. Do I think Trump will ban flights from the UK over the new COVID strain? I think Trump is checked out. I mean, maybe he will, maybe he won't. He's not been seen in public for weeks and he has nothing on his schedule ever. So I don't know that Trump's going to do anything. Owen says, so is the noun Democrat an adjective now? They just say Democrat city, Democrat family without realizing how uneducated it sounds? Yes, that's exactly what they do. John Henson says, you said Hanukkah was over, but someone came to me and said, sir, it's not over, and you have made it better than ever. Fake news, David, gossip news. Okay. Chakaseki says, David, could you set up a voicemail debate between Repeater and Troy York? Yes. Troy, if you're listening, please call in and comment about what Repeater is saying. And Repeater, if you're listening, please come in and comment about what Troy York is saying. I think that would be great. Let's listen to Alex Marlowe of Breitbart News.
Thank you. It is a thrill to be with you at Turning Point. It's actually a thrill to be in a room with other human beings, which
super spreader.
To my buddy Dave Rubin, who's next up after me.
Oh God.
We were both talking. Yeah, Dave's a great guy. Neither of us have given a speech since last year's Turning Point USA Summit, which I'm sure is the Student Action Summit from last year. And I was thinking about this when I saw SAS was coming back. I reached out to my buddy Charlie, who I've known for many, many years. I think we...
Who did he say is coming back? SAS?
...that up. And I said, I can't believe it. You guys are doing SAS. That's so cool. I'd love to be a part of it. Where's it going to be? And he said to me, well, why don't you take a guess where it's going to be? And I said, well, I like games. That's fun. So then I thought about where all the places they could have a gathering like this. And my first thought was, well, Charlie's a Chicago guy, so maybe Illinois. No, lockdown there. Democrat governors and all. How about New York? So what's going on in New York right now, you might have noticed that there's no indoor dining, but you can go in a tent outdoors that's completely closed off, and has lights on and very little ventilation and it's freezing.
Yeah, that's stupid. I'm against that. You're basically indoors at that point.
Not okay.
I've seen where it's like it's a tent outside on the sidewalk that's sealed with a heater. It's like you're basically inside at that point.
Is going to be in California, but not just California. It's going to be in Napa at the French Laundry, right? Yeah. So those of you who don't know the story, and most of you do, the government.
Well, yeah, this is really, really dumb. Okay, so we're not going to be able to do too much more of that. Thanks to Nathan Coffrin, who's new member number 31 today at joinpacman.com. Also, big thank you to Magnum Satan for gifting some subs. There are, looks like a total of 3 more there, which puts us at 34. We may actually get the phone lines open. That would be interesting. I would be interested in hearing from some folks. Okay, so we did the Troy York voicemails. We did the repeater voicemails. Did I have anything else as far? Oh, people asking about Joe Biden getting the vaccine. Yeah, so it happened earlier. Let's see if we can find the video of it. Biden vaccine, just so you guys can see the big moment. Here it is. Let's take a look at it in case you missed it.
Left's good. That works. Okay. She doesn't stand there to get the injection.
So we'll move up a little bit. Here we go. Very, very exciting moment.
Oh, you've been awful busy, haven't you, son?
Oh, his house thing was happening.
God love you. We owe you big.
I know.
Whole staff. It's been incredible.
Kept up and they're doing what they need to do. So that's good.
All right.
She's from Cameroon. No, no.
Guess you need everybody watching. Huh?
I know. That's okay. That's
I actually liked this nurse's technique. I thought it was very smooth.
All right.
Little alcohol swab, as some call it.
No, you just go ahead anytime you're ready.
And there it is. Joe Biden receiving his first dose. Remember, the first dose believed to get you by day 21, on which you need the second dose, somewhere between 60 and 75% likelihood of immunity. And then that second dose, upping it to about 95%. So that was earlier, Joe Biden receiving the first dose of the coronavirus vaccine. Rising Phoenix says, would have been funny if when he rolled up his sleeve, he said, welcome to the gun show. It would have been funny. Derek says, summit, LOL, more like an abyss. Yeah, this is some kind of turning point summit, but it is really like a deep, deep trench. Jamal Swift, haven't seen you in a while. Jamal says, hi, homie. Great to see you. And David Abel says, worst voiceover guy anyway, ever. I guess you're probably referring to one of our various callers that we had. I do want to say thank you to Sonia Cody, who is new member number 35 today, and also JP Lauren, who just grabbed a Twitch sub and is new member number 36. We are looking at opening the phone lines. We are 14 website members and Twitch subs away from doing it. Do I have any new songs? I don't think so. I played the one that I have. I've got, as you guys all know, now I have a centralized database of all of the songs, and I can sort them by meme. So, for example, we can sort. So I've got like 2 Boner Show ones, and then 3 caller songs, 1 Jesse Lee Peterson, 3 different Paula White songs, 1 Rudy Giuliani fart song. There's a bunch of massive dumps songs. I actually keep all these things. Actually, I don't know that I've played all of these, but we take it all very seriously. Imagine a job where you have a massive dumps section. Let's see DJ Physics massive dumps song. That seems interesting. Let me take a look here where it is.
This election was over, and then they did dumps. They call them dumps. Big, massive dumps. In Michigan and Pennsylvania. Big, massive dumps.
Okay, so we actually have played that one. I feel like there is something here we haven't played before. Officer Akimov, have I played this one?
If there is anything that needs to be satirized and remixed, it is Trump talking about massive dumps.
Oh,
And
this
by the
is
way,
genius.
Extra points. If you can sample Trump saying massive dumps and me talking about it,
This is so good.
Please do it.
This is fantastic. This is a hot track.
Dumps. Big, massive dumps. Dumps. Big, massive dumps. 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 Dumps.
Right.
Dumps. Dumps. Dumps.
This is brilliant.
Dump. Big, massive dumps. Dumps. Sir, you just dump. Big, massive dumps.
Donald Trump insisted multiple times that it was massive dumps that led him to lose the election, which is just
On another level. On another level. Dumps. Sir, you just dump. Big, massive dumps. Sir, you just dump. Big, massive dumps.
You turn the faucet on in areas where there's tremendous amounts of water, where the water rushes out to sea because you could never handle it. People are flushing toilets 10 times, 15 times, as opposed to once.
Dumps. Sir, you just dump. Big.
Anyway, you get the idea. So I maintain a database of all of these different songs. Very, very important thing to be doing, as you can imagine. If we were to lose if we were to lose track of any of those tracks, that would really be a tragedy. That would really be a tragedy. Okay, other streams coming up this week. I don't know. I don't know what else we're running up against a couple of problems. One is that Donald Trump doesn't do anything anymore. In fact, let's take a look at his schedule and you will see that he doesn't do stuff. So today, no public events scheduled. Yesterday, no public events scheduled. A private meeting with the Secretary of Defense, a private signing ceremony, a private cabinet meeting, nothing on last Tuesday, lunch with Pence and a private signing last Monday, golf previous Sunday, travel previous Saturday, nothing on Friday the 11th, private lunch on the 10th. He just doesn't do anything anymore. And the Biden team is absolutely terrible at telling us ahead of time what's going on. They often don't schedule events on their YouTube channel until 5 minutes before the event is scheduled to start. So it's actually just hard to keep track. What I'm hoping for, so here's the trajectory for the next week. If we get a Kayleigh Maganani press briefing or something from Trump or Biden events, I'll cover them. We then are going to be, there's no show next week. Just bear that in mind. No show next week. The show is off next week. No podcast, no, et cetera, as you know. January is going to start strong because January 5th, we have Georgia elections, and I'm going to cover those live. January 6th, we have the counting of the electoral ballots in the House and Senate. We will be covering that live. And then we'll have 2 weeks until the inauguration, which we will also be covering live. So there's some big events coming. But a lot of these are just kind of unpredictable. And I'm not doing anything next week during our vacation. So I may pop in for some live streams if news breaks, but there will be no podcast. And there actually will be clips next week because I've been holding back a strategic reserve of clips for the last 3 weeks, so that we're going to have some stuff publishing next week as well. Chakaseki says Trump has so many private shows and events that he might as well start his own OnlyFans. Well said. Jacob Ratner says, will Trump run shadow presidency after inauguration? Who knows? Who knows? And Rusty Lewis says, sir, I love the Rusty Lewis Massive Trump song. Okay, since Rusty is asking for it, let's look at the Rusty Lewis Massive Dump song just real quick.
The biggest we've ever seen.
Big, massive dumps.
Coming in rapidly.
Massive dumps.
Big, massive dumps.
Huge dumps.
Coming in rapidly.
Paint it.
Dumps. More than we needed.
This is disgusting.
Wash your hands. We have a situation where we're looking very strongly at sinks and showers.
It's all quite extraordinary, Mr. President.
People are flushing toilets 10 times, 15 times.
Really?
This is what I've been looking to do for a long time. Convalescent.
Massive dumps.
Okay, so that's the track from Rusty Lewis. That is a very, very good one. Thank you. Okay, and then Red Rover says, I imagine Biden team doesn't announce the schedule for safety from turd rump loons. Yeah, I don't think that's the case. Joe Biden is very well protected. Thanks to Jonathan Svensson, who is new member number 37 at joinpacman.com. Very much appreciate that. We are standing by, if you can believe it, we just stumbled across this. We are standing by from a speech at a vile right-wing event from the last liberal Dave Rubin. We are standing by for that. And if people want the phone lines open, that's an if. Don't feel obligated. We are just 13 website members and subs away from opening the phone lines. Actually, thanks to a donation by Cornelia Fenwinkle via Twitch, we are now 5 closer. So we're actually now at 42. Okay, so we may get phone lines open. It's up to you guys. I say we do it. We're only 8 away. But that's really up to you. And for people asking, is it better to sign up on Twitch or my website? It is better on my website. That's the truth. We keep almost every penny on my website, whereas all these other platforms are taking slices, to quote Andrew Yang. Magnum Satan has gifted another 5, which puts us now at 47. Oh, wow, we're getting really close. It would be really crazy if we didn't make it. Let's listen to a little bit of this Breitbart dude before Dave Rubin.
Any of you know anything about China? No deal gets done like that unless it has the express permission of the Chinese Communist Party. None of these people had expertise, and all of them got rich, and all of them are Bidens. And that brings us to October the 14th.
What?
When the New York Post put out the report that Hunter Biden introduced the corrupt energy company Burisma and its officials to Vice President Joe Biden. What did Facebook do to this story? They suppressed it. What did Twitter do to this story? They locked people out of their accounts who shared it, including the New York Post. We're talking 3 weeks before an election. A major news
These people are out of their minds,
hundreds of years, locked out of their own account, and they're locked out of their own account for 2 full weeks, even though Jack Dorsey acknowledged, in retrospect, they didn't violate any rules. And what did they call this story? They called it Russian disinformation. It's like everything else, Russian disinformation. Washington Post called it a Russian intelligence operation. Wikipedia referred to it as Russian interference.
This is conspiracy website chief Alex Marlow from Breitbart accusing others, I guess, of conspiracies. Okay, good. All right. Thanks to 6 more Twitch subs, we have now gotten to 53. So as promised, let's open the phone lines as we wait a little bit for Dave Rubin here. If you want to talk to me, go to davidpacman.com/Discord. Get in the waiting lobby, change your nickname to location:name, and I will pick up on some calls. Okay. Very, very easy. davidpacman.com/Discord. Let's go first to Jack from Antwerp. Now, is that Antwerp, Belgium?
Yes, that's Antwerp, Belgium. That's why the BE is.
I love Antwerp. I've been to Antwerp. It's fantastic.
Well, nice. Well, that's awesome. Really cool. It's good. So, hello, David. Thank you for taking my call. I guess basically, I mean, I often think about when I'm going to get on and I can ask questions and I get a lot of questions in my head, but now I'm a bit lost. I guess what I want, I have this problem, I guess, that I hope you can help me with.
Uh-oh, okay.
Yeah, so I want to do more, basically, for the leftist movement, I guess, in my country and in my area.
Mm-hmm.
Because, well, I'm scared that next election, the right-wing parties are going to get way more votes than they got this time, and maybe a majority, and are going to take more power in government and such. And I'm already kind of in local politics, and I try to convince people and talk to them when I can, but I'm kind of at a loss as to how to do more. I mean, should I go make posters or like become a public figure like you are, or
listen, I mean, you know, I think someone who lives in Belgium may be better suited to tell you the best way to get involved in politics in Belgium. Generally speaking, I'm very concerned about some of these nationalist right-wing movements in Europe, but I would really look to someone in Belgium who would be far better suited than me, I think, to tell you.
Yeah, that's probably right. And it's just stuff like, you know, Trump talks a lot about Antifa in Belgium. Well, in Europe, Antifa isn't that big a thing. I mean, I've looked at it as an alternative, as needed to take action and do something against those people, but it's very different as in the US, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about the presence of Antifa in Belgium, Jack, but I think I would look to left-wing Belgian groups. That would be the way to go, I think, because they would know far more than I do. Jack from Antwerp, I'm going to let you go. We're going to listen actually, let's take another call or two, and then we'll listen to a little bit of Dave Rubin. I think this will be pretty funny. But first, let's go to, where do we want to go? There's a lot of people wanting to talk now. Let's go to Matt F. from upstate New York. Matt, what's going on?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Hey, big fan of the show. I have two questions.
Please.
It's kind of a two-part question, so I'll ask the first part first.
I like that idea. Actually, you know what? Do they have to go in that order?
Actually, I guess it kind of can go as one big question, so I'll just ask it.
Beautiful.
So do you think it's realistic to win both of the Georgia Senate seats? Because historically, you know, it's very difficult to win races versus incumbents. Yes. And if the Democrats take both seats, do you think that there's a chance that a few of Biden's cabinet picks, I guess off the top of my head, near Tandon, still don't get confirmed due to opposition from the left, you know, and Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren?
I don't know about that second. I don't anticipate. I think Biden's going to get essentially everybody confirmed. That's the first and foremost. I think that the way I would assess it is each of the Democratic challengers in Georgia has a 48% chance of winning. So I think if the question is what are the odds they both win, I think it's we're just doing the math here. It's 0.48 times 0.48, which works out to what? It's got to be about 23% or something like that.
Yeah, I guess that was more of my question, because I know you had a video about polling.
Yes.
You know, obviously you can't trust the polling because, especially in this race, it's so close.
Yeah, I think it's irrelevant. In other words, this is the one race. It's not like, oh, how much time do we put into these versus others? These are the two races. It's probably close.
I would argue that they're relevant in general because regardless of the margin of error or projected winners, I think it tends to favor the people that are losing in the polls. It generates more turnout. And I also believe that, if a candidate's projected to win, by like 6-7 points, then the members of that party are less likely to vote, and therefore the turnout isn't.
Well, that's Trump's argument. Trump says that's how you suppress turnout, and I don't know. I mean, listen, it's just close. And when it's a few points, it's unlikely to suppress turnout one way or the other, is my opinion.
Well, right. Unless he suppresses turnout from his own voter base, which he's looking like it's going to do, at least to an extent.
They may be doing that. There's no question that they may suppress especially also by claiming, it's rigged. All right, Matthew, thank you so much. I appreciate the call.
I want to say one more thing. I was a poll worker in this year's election, and I can confirm there are no massive dumps.
There were no dumps. Okay, that's important. Not even.
I live in upstate New York too, so very, very rural, very conservative.
And if there were dumps there, you would know because of your location.
Correct.
Okay, very good. All right, Matthew, thank you so much. Let's listen to Dave Rubin now addressing a right-wing crowd, the last liberal Dave Rubin.
So when I tell you guys that you are protesting in the most beautiful freaking way possible right now, you really are.
I guess he's praising people for having an event during a pandemic.
I'm telling you guys, the generations before you that have done a ton of good, right? We've fought wars against real Nazis, not imaginary Nazis, right? We've expanded freedoms, right? We've expanded freedoms for women and for black people and for gay people and all of these things that America has done. And it's this place, this idea.
No cheering for that with this crowd, silent crowd.
Is this idea that everyone can come from every walk of earth, from whatever religion, whatever region, whatever nationality, whatever skin color. We can all come to this magical place and make it better. And yet right now, you guys, 18, 20, 22 years old, it's on you to fix this thing.
Okay. All right, let's listen. Let's see if we can talk to just a couple of other people. Let's go to Brian from Gainesville, Georgia. Now, there's also a Gainesville in Florida, right?
Hey, David, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yes, so Google does that a lot. I have to specify Gainesville, Georgia all the time because it gets mixed up with Gainesville, Florida. So my question to you is, should Joe Biden on day one invoke, I believe it's the Emergencies Act of 1975? Does Joe Biden... I guess I'm wondering if he has the authority to declare climate change a national emergency under that act.
I don't know, but what would be achieved by what do you want him to achieve by so doing?
Well, I want to see the federal government pivot more toward doing what it can to, obviously tamp down on carbon emissions. Maybe implementing some aspects of what has been proposed in the Green New Deal.
And do you think that is more likely to happen? I think that's going to depend more on whether the Senate is won than whether Joe Biden can use a 1973 emergencies law to declare climate an emergency. I think it's more about the Senate.
Right.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
Well, I think I agree. And I can say for myself, I live in Georgia, so I just checked on my ballot and it was received. So hopefully I can help, make somewhat of a difference and hopefully getting 2 Democratic senators elected here.
Let's
in Georgia.
do it. We'll be covering it. Good luck down there.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Very good. Taking some calls at davidpakman.com/Discord, seeing who is on. Let's go to, is it Macclesfield, England? I don't even have a name. I have almost no information about this caller.
Oh.
Hello, caller from Macclesfield, England.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, how is it pronounced? What's the name of the place you're in?
Yeah, it's Macclesfield in England, yeah.
Oh, okay. And what's your name?
My name's Elliot. It does say it at the end, but I think it's just pushed off.
I think it's all. I think Macclesfield, England, is so many characters. I couldn't even see your name.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No problem. So what's happening?
Well, I'm just keeping up to date with your politics more than my own.
Right.
I say my own. I mean English.
Sure.
But it's yeah, it's pretty crazy times. It feels like in politics now you can stand up there, lie as much as you want, and then if you can convince enough people, you can get into power. And it seems like a pretty flawed system.
Yeah, it seems to be working for a lot of people in a lot of parts of the world right now.
Yeah, it seems like that's what happened in the UK for our recent election, because it just makes no sense the way the country's going, and the things that certain people vote for. You know that they're just inherently not, a morally nice person. And it confuses me how politics is that way. I mean, I've not followed politics for many years, but I don't know. It's just it's pretty crazy.
Now, are you brutally locked down under lock and key thanks to extreme socialist Boris Johnson?
Not 100%. No, it's a tier system now, and I'm in a tier 3. But London just went to tier 4 the other day, and my girlfriend's brother was in London, and he had to quickly get on a train and get out there as fast as he could so he could get out and get to his brother's house for Christmas.
Now, when we're talking about being locked down, grocery stores are open, right? You can go out and go to a grocery store.
Yes.
Hardware stores are open, sort of like the generic places where you could go and get either gift wrap or a hammer.
Yeah. It seems to be that most places like that are also open at the moment.
Are restaurants open for what we call takeout, and I believe you call takeaway?
Yes, they are.
Those are open.
Yeah. They're also open for sitting in as well. Now.
Wait a second. So you guys are, quote, locked down, but restaurants are open for indoor dining?
Oh, yeah. Basically, the stupid rule is you can go and you can drink alcohol if you're eating a meal, but you can't drink alcohol if you're not. But you can still go out, but you're not supposed to. And it's basically all these mixed messages that no one's following. The good thing is a lot of people are wearing masks now, but it's not everyone.
Now, is it stricter if you're in a tier 4 area?
Yes, but that's only just come into play in London, so I don't actually know the full details about tier 4. I think it's just you're not supposed to go out unless you are shopping, I think.
Is not being able to drink unless you're eating fascism in your mind?
No, I think it's a way to stop people getting too rowdy. I kind of agree with it. I mean, I'm not a big drinker myself, so it's not bothering me. But when people get drunk, you're hugging everyone you see. Right. It doesn't matter if you know them or not, you'll hug them. So I think it's wise to stop people drinking, yeah.
Would you be able theoretically to go to a chip shop and get 10 beers and some chips?
No, probably not from a chip shop, but you could go to a restaurant with your friends and order a pint of beer each.
All right.
But that's probably, yeah.
Last question. Do you believe that you guys need a national referendum on eliminating mushy peas?
No, it doesn't bother me. I don't eat mushy peas. But I'm in the mindset that if you like it, go for it.
You're more of a libertarian where you don't want to have, you don't have to have it yourself, but you're okay with it being legal.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate the call.
No problem. Thank you for your time.
All right, there it is. Let's listen to just a few more minutes of Dave Rubin here, then we'll take a couple more calls.
Line his cage. Like, the more that these things collapse, the more that we're all going to go into our ideological echo chambers, right? The more that you guys are going to go, all right, well, I'll watch Shapiro and I'll watch Rubin and whatever it is on this side, and I'm not even going to pay attention to their side. Pay a little attention to what they're doing. Pay a little attention to what they're doing, and know that some of this is just a little bit of a psychological makeup. Sometimes they're maybe a little more sensitive than you might be. Sometimes.
Psychologist Dave Rubin with huge ideas. Let's go next to Sylvia Stefaniak from Portugal. Is that right, Sylvia? Hello, Sylvia. Sylvia. Hi, Sylvia from Portugal. Oh, boy. All right, that's too bad. Let's listen to this question coming in.
Hey, everybody, a refugee from San Francisco.
Why does no one have masks over their face?
Are leaving my state in mass numbers, specifically liberals, and they are going to red states, but they are not understanding that the left-leaning policies that they voted for were responsible for ruining their home state, and they're bringing those to other states. I've tried talking to many people about this issue, but they are reluctant to face it.
This kid's got upper management written all over him.
They actually contribute to it back home in California, and how they're bringing it elsewhere. What can I and other Californians do?
Well, yeah, great question. And as a guy that lives in LA, I hear you, man. I hear you. Listen, first off, if you live in a red state, you should build a wall. I want to be very clear about that.
Oh my God, this is so stupid. It's actually painful. I think I'm going to need some kind of treatment after this because it's so dumb. Let's go next to Daniel from California. Daniel from California. It's also boring, right? Right, Daniel?
Oh, way more boring than your show.
Thank you.
So I'm a member from the legal discount days.
Okay, YouTube went back when it was like 10% off. Your membership would pass scrutiny even under a fascistic dictatorship.
I would not have to seek a pardon, that's for sure.
Beautiful.
So, if Trump becomes a political liability for Republicans and politicians start to distance themselves from Trump, I don't think they should be let off that easy because they have supported and enabled Trump's transgressions against this country.
Right.
From the separation of families to mishandling of COVID to, his current coup, if we call it that.
I agree with you.
And I want to know what you think of this idea. If politicians on the left started referring to the Republican Party as Trump's party as a way to try to tie, Republicans to Trump.
I don't know that that'll be that effective, but I think the point you're making is a good one, which is the Republicans are getting ready. If Trump just fades away on January 20th, all these Republicans will go back to sort of pretending Trump didn't happen and saying we've got to deal with the debt. We've got to deal with the deficit. They will go right back to what they were before Donald Trump and try to avoid all consequences for their either explicit or implicit support of Trump or indifference to Trump this entire time. There's no doubt whatsoever. And I've been saying for a while, they need to be held accountable. Will they be? I don't know. But my belief is they will probably get away with it.
I see. Well, if you can make a clip of, maybe how we can, or how Democratic politicians really can make it so they don't get away with it.
Yeah.
That would be helpful.
I will look into that and I will report back.
Okay, thank you. And one last thing, I did fill out the contact form about an exchange I had with Sam Cedar of multi-panel backdrop fame.
Okay.
And I don't know if you have time, you could look at that.
When was that?
Probably 3 weeks ago. It was about the defund the police slogan. I think Sam had a lot of good things to say about it that mirrors your analysis somewhat.
Okay.
But it's a little different. Yeah.
All right. I will check it out. Thank you. That contact form gets used a lot,
Right. Yeah. You have a lot of subs, a lot of YouTube subs. I don't know if they're real, but I am.
Well, the thing about fake YouTube subscribers is they don't email you.
Right.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it very, very much. Let's listen to the next question being posed here.
Mentality of, hey, I'm a little bit liberal on this side, I'm a little bit conservative on this side. But with the growing division of a lot of the conservatives I see today, how can I integrate my centrism to get people to be more, not divided so much, for the left, the right, and even within the right?
Yeah. It's a good question. I'm the new guy on the right. So, when I see these divisions that I hear some of you guys talking about, okay, so we've got the more traditional conservatives, let's say we've got the more libertarian side of it, and whatever else you want to whittle it down to me, that's great. Because I know you guys are all in this room right now. That is fantastic, right? There are believers in this room. There are not.
This is really dumb. Hey, Jesse James in Twitch chat says that Sam Cedar has been using an alpha male mashup to troll me. That sounds funny. If someone can email me that through my website contact form, I would very much like to see that. All right, my friends, I'm glad we were able to take some calls. I'm not going to be able to take any more today. I would very much look forward to seeing you guys later this week We saw Joe Biden get his vaccine. We saw everything happen. All right. So make sure if you're watching on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. It's free. We're at 1.2 million subscribers, if you can believe it. And of course, if you're watching on Twitch, make sure to follow me. We are working our way towards our first 100,000 Twitch subs. I will hopefully see everybody tomorrow.